You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Karina Rubio. McLeod has the night off. We begin with breaking news tonight. The car of a missing Danville woman has been found in Lake Vermilion. Abby Brandenburg was last seen on May 5th. Her red Ford Edge was last seen on a traffic camera going over the Denmark Road Bridge over the lake. Brandenburg's family confirms that dive teams pulled her car from the water this evening. They also say that's all the information they have right now. Our news crew saw sheriff's deputies at the scene. They had that entrance to the lake blocked off. We are working to learn more information. Stay with WCIA online and on air as we continue to follow that story. Well, today marks the first day of National Police Week. It's a week to honor and recognize the sacrifices law enforcement officers make every day. This week is especially important to one Central Illinois family, the Oberheim family. WCIA 3's Marley Capper is live in Washington, D.C. Now, Marley, tell us, what does this week mean for them?
Well, this week is really important. Officer Chris Oberheim's name is going to be recognized, and it's going to be added to the National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial Wall. So like I said, it's everything to the family. Not only does this solidify his legacy, but this is really a reminder of the sacrifice he made to our community. In May 19th of 2020, Officer Oberheim was shot and killed in the line of duty when responding to a domestic call in Champaign. His wife and children and many family members have come. Also, 30,000 people from all over the country have come to D.C. to support their loved ones. There was 14 officers in the state of Illinois overall killed in 2021 and 472 all over the country. Now, this is going to be a week of coverage. We'll be here live in D.C. for the next few days as the events go by, and I will be here to report on the vigil, where they'll be announcing his name at a silent vigil. Like I said, there's going to be 618 other officers' names that are going to be read at this silent vigil. And so this family, it's really a time to kind of find some peace and solace a year after their father and husband and family member's death. You can follow the journey on our website, WCIA.com, and on our social medias, on my Facebook and Twitter as well. Reporting live in our nation's capital, Marley Capper, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Marley, thank you for that report.
I stand here today to thank American farmers who are the breadbasket of democracy.
President Joe Biden made a trip to Illinois today. He visited a farm in Kankakee to discuss a new plan to help farmers this growing season. Farmers across the country are facing a daunting season with rising costs on everything from fuel to fertilizer. WCIA 3's Cole Hankey covered the president's visit today.
The president is calling these rising costs Putin's price hike. And today he came to this farm in Kankakee, Illinois, to pitch his plan for how to reverse those trends.
American farmers understand Putin's war has cut off critical sources of food. Ukraine was the world's largest producer of wheat and corn and cooking oil, but wheat the largest.
Jeff O'Connor, owner of OC Farms, where Biden spoke today, said one problem is much worse than others.
Every one of them said the fertilizer cost. There's been a lot of the places we can get fertilizer from has gotten smaller, and the prices have gone up.
To combat those rising prices, President Biden is doubling investment in domestic fertilizer production. It's one part of a plan to help Illinois farmers.
Thank farmers. You feed America. You got us through a pandemic. And you're literally the backbone of our country.
President of the Illinois Farm Bureau, Rich Giebert, approved of President Biden's plan, despite his plans focusing more on the long term.
I worry about what happened next year and the inputs that we can get and the availability of those inputs going forward for especially the young farmers that are trying to get established.
The Help for Farmers is part of a larger rollout for the White House, and it's all focused on helping families deal with inflation.
Just think about it. Right now, America's fighting on two fronts. At home, it's inflation and rising prices. Abroad, it's helping Ukrainians defend their democracy and feeding those who are left hungry around the world because Russian atrocities exist.
Reporting in Kankakee, I'm Cole Hankey.
President Biden's trip to Illinois did not stop with his day on the farm. He also spoke at a convention for electrical workers unions and attended a high-profile fundraiser for the Illinois DNC. New technology will make voting easier and faster in Danville for the upcoming June 28th primary. The city purchased some new touchscreen voting systems. After someone votes, it prints out a slip of paper, which then gets fed into the tabulator. Election officials say the new system is ADA compliant, ensures ballots are filled out completely and accurately, and gets voters in and out of the ballot booth in no time.
We're excited. It's new technology, and the machines that we had before were outdated, and so we were actually very pleased to have the opportunity to purchase these.
The new equipment cost around $70,000. Voters who want to use a traditional ballot will still have that option. A 6-year-old girl is dead after an ATV crashed in Christian County. It happened in Johnson Township this past Sunday. The sheriff's office says Ulisha Garner Cox from Oklahoma died in the accident. She was with her father and brother. Her father is currently in critical condition. Her brother suffered minor injuries and has since been released. Officials do not believe drugs or alcohol were involved. Decatur police have arrested the suspect in a home invasion. It happened last week in the 2800 block of East Locust Street. When they got there, they found 2 women, a 51-year-old and a 43-year-old, in the home. They had puncture wounds to their bodies. Both were hospitalized and are in stable condition. Decatur police have arrested Corey Smith on several charges, including 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder and theft. The Rantoul community is mourning the loss of one of their own. 27-year-old Jonathan Davis was killed in a car accident in Urbana last week when police say he lost control of his car and was then hit by an Illini FS tanker. Now his family is speaking for the first time since that tragedy. WCIA3's Sarah Lehman met with the family today. Now, Sarah, what do they want people to know about Davis?
Yeah, Karina, his family says he was a family man and would do anything for his children. 2 of his kids were actually in the car when the accident happened, and they say it's a miracle they survived.
We've known him for quite some time. So, like, even since he was young, riding his bicycle to and from McDonald's, drinking Dr. Pepper in one swig.
Jonathan Davis has been a big part of the Rantoul community for the last 27 years.
A big loss to the community for sure. Everywhere he went, everybody loved him, and he always bent over backwards for everybody.
Now the community and his entire family are in mourning after a car accident with a tanker truck took his life.
I didn't believe it at first, and then I just started breaking down for like a long time. Just in a real dark place over it.
Davis had 3 kids. The youngest was only 6 days old when he died, and he had 2 stepchildren. His family says he was the provider and protector of the family.
He was a real stand-up type of dude. Like, he really did anything for them kids. He devoted all his life to it, and like anything that he ever invested was either for their future or something that they needed now. And not just them, he also took care of me, my mother, my girlfriend, and so on and so forth. A lot of people, he impacted a lot of people's lives.
And as they grieve the loss of their father, friend, and partner, they also have a plea to the community. They want to thank the first responders who saved Davis's 2 kids who were in the car when the accident happened.
They saved the kids' lives. If they wouldn't have been there when they were, they wouldn't be here today. And I spoke with the lady yesterday at the tow truck yard, and she didn't know how anybody survived and that there was even children in there because there's nothing left of the vehicle.
Now again, Davis leaves behind his partner and his 5 children, so family and friends have put together a fundraising page to help them with funeral expenses and other expenses that will come up. We'll have a link to that over on our website, WCIA.com. Karina?
All right, Sarah, thank you. Now, warm weather has many of us wanting to be outside after a cold, rainy past few weeks. How farmers are taking full advantage of warm temperatures this growing season. A Central Illinois Park District is also being honored as one of the best in the nation. We'll tell you what they did to receive that recognition. Now, Jack, we were just talking about that warm weather. It's sticking around for a while.
Yeah, we've got some warm temperatures still for the next couple days, but today was hot. We topped out today at 96 degrees at the airport. We will talk about some cooler weather on the way and the chance for storms after the break.